G'day there, ladies and gents of the internet. I am the Braveheart Aussie and welcome to a journey in world building. And this is our third and last of our setting deep dive episodes for the planet of Corrix. As has been customary to date, today's episode is going to cover off on the terrors that plague the planet of Corrix. And if you hadn't guessed it already, that primary terror is that of slime. However, before I start, I just wanted to say that I've been really enjoying over the course of this trio of episodes exploring the faction that is the Fringe Worlds Alliance. Having spent the first two setting mini-series looking at Tyson Sector compact planets, I've found it very enjoyable to dive into a new faction, particularly one that is a little bit less of an establishment player within the overall diaspora. As such, I've decided that rather than completing most of the settings before we look at the factions, I'm actually going to start interspersing faction deep dives in with the setting deep dives, so there is a more balanced examination of the two elements of Phase 2 of our world building project. Also, I've had the opportunity to work in the background on some of the World Anvil content for Corrix, which hopefully will go live in the next few weeks. As part of that, I've decided to call the government of the planet the Corrix Dependency. This reflects the fact that the planet lacks a genuine form of self-government or any real sort of autonomy, and is in reality a resource mining administration of the office as part of the wider Fringe Worlds Alliance organization. This differs from, say, that of Vicinity in the matriarchal snow and ice tundra planet that we examined in one of the earlier lore episodes, which has a more effective independence or autonomy from that of the water world and capital planet of the Alliance of Ozovan. This contrast between a genuine Alliance partner and a resource-based dependency creates an interesting dynamic within the Alliance, which I'm eager to explore as part of the factions deep dive in this phase of the project. Anyway, with all that out of the way, let's look at the final element of our current setting and talk about the slime. We want to talk about why it represents such a formidable terror and its surprisingly multifaceted relationships with local residents, mining companies, and scientific organizations. As we previously discussed, the slime is a xenobiological organism of unknown evolutionary origin. It possesses a range of unique characteristics that make it comparable to a primordial organism similar to that which was theorized to be on Earth prior to the explosion of mycelial and subsequently plant and animal life. While other planets have seen comprehensive biomes develop, such as that of Samiyaji, the slime does not appear to have evolved beyond its initial state and instead represents something of a perfection of evolution of a single-celled organism capable of interacting in its trillions with its counterparts to form and develop multicellular macroorganisms. The slime possesses a number of unique features, the most unique being that of its ability to absorb, consume and digest almost every known refined metallic, organic and petrochemical substance. The refinement of metallic elements is in particular important as the slime has shown no indication to date of being able to consume a natural ores of metals such as valuable rare earth deposits on the planet of Corrix. This attracted the interest of major powers, scientific institutes, and private researchers from across the galaxy, as we discussed in our last episode. However, such study is not without its inherent risks. To date, storage of slime for study has been limited to the use of carved stone receptacles, as well as anti-gravity based suspensor fields, such as techniques. However, such techniques are never foolproof, and there are opportunities for outbreaks as well as widespread contamination. This represents the major threat, not just at an individual level, but at a whole of system and even a whole of diaspora level. What happens if the slime spreads? On the planet, the slime operates within its natural environment. As such, contamination tends to be when it comes into contact with a human environment or machinery, or in the case of an underground mining operation and bases, where it travels through the regolith of the planet in what is known as a slime seep. Such seeps have been recorded in their hundreds across the entire planet, including in areas where there are no human presence, suggesting it's actually a natural phenomenon. This raises the possibility that over extended timeframes, the slime has the ability to fully permeate the crust of the planet, down to levels in which the heat of the planet's core acts as a barrier to further progress. However, the relationship with the slime is not always universally negative, for some use the presence of the enveloping primordial ooze as a natural barrier of protection for those who are seeking to hide on the planet. As I mentioned previously, this could include a range of illegal organisations such as pirates and brigands, and others that have run afoul of Alliance or other galactic authorities. It also provides a mechanism to ensure that people who do live in underground bases in the planet are unable to leave, which is particularly attractive for cults and other pseudo-religious organisations seeking to maintain control of their number. Other notable terrors on the planet include frequent meteor strikes due to the planet's atmosphere being very thin and the predominance of asteroids within the system. Such strikes are frequent and cyclical and have been known to strike floating processor platforms or the entrances to mining operations. Additionally, the lack of a thick atmosphere, as well as a geomagnetic field, means that solar radiation and frigid temperatures create a very inhospitable environment on the surface for humans. The atmosphere is also unbreathable, though surface contact of the skin for short periods of time does not leave any lasting damage or hurt. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we're going to leave today's final episode here with the setting deep dive for Corrix. If you have enjoyed this mini-series, make sure you leave a like and subscribe on the channel. Also, if you're interested in helping select our next setting deep dive location, go over to my YouTube channel where there is actually currently a poll that you can vote in. All 5 of the options that I've presented are locations that haven't featured in any of our episodes or even had only cursory mentions as part of our world building project to date, so there's plenty for us to explore. The poll will be closing on Friday, after which we will be in a position to jump straight into our next series of videos, hopefully within the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, I'm going to do one world building episode to talk about the Fringe Worlds Alliance as part of that faction setting balance that we're striking now as part of phase 2 of our project. I'd also like to put out a call for action for people to go and join my new Discord server. There you'll be able to see some of the work in progress content that we're generating, as well as be part of some of the discussions on the project as we're progressing forward. I'm hoping to also include more polls as well as giveaways too. But that is it for today. Thank you so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and may the journey continue. Hey!